Hey, what's up? This is your morning momentum. I'm Richie.
I'm Ethan.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great because it's Friday.
It's Friday. It is, but we have a confession to make.
We do.
If you noticed, if you watched Monday, we're in the same clothes. We had to record early because currently, right now, as this is airing, I'm in Mount Vernon, Ohio, at a thing called Blast, getting ready to leave for Indianapolis, and so couldn't be here Friday morning with everybody, but we are here.
We're still here, pretty much.
And this is going to be a great show. I'm excited about it. We're going to talk camping today. And we're not just talking like family camping. We're going to talk like teen camp, kids camp, camping with the family, camping with your grandma, camping with your dog, camping with your uncle. I don't know, whoever you camp with, but we're going to chat about it a little bit today. Ethan, drop it, man. What is happening today?
A lot of cool stuff. Not really, kind of. There's some fun stuff in here. I'll let you know what's up. This is a good one. National Ballpoint Pen Day, because where would we be without them?
I despise ballpoint pens.
You use them all the time, I'm sure.
I do use them all the time, but I'm telling you, when I go to the doctor and they ask me to fill out the paperwork and I have to write it legibly, I struggle with a .7 ballpoint pen. Like the pen that I write with, if I'm going to write, is a .5 gel pen.
Okay.
So nice and sharp.
I don't really use pens.
Nice and sharp and
like
blue
that.
ink. You know why blue ink?
Why?
Because then you know it's an original. So,
How does that make sense?
because when you copy it, it'd be black.
Okay.
So
You use any other color too, though?
I just use blue. Blue's legal.
I have a funny
Black's legal.
story.
Red's not.
I'll tell the story right now.
Okay.
Back in high school,
This is about 20 years ago?
It was about 20 years ago. I volunteered for this. They did this thing called Touch of Gold. I don't really care because I don't go to school anymore, so I can say what I want, I guess. They can't do anything about it, maybe.
No, they can't.
Well,
You're
my
great.
mom works there. So I won't say anything too crazy. But Touch of Gold, so it's like a silent auction and an actual auction. And so the students serve food to the people, and it's kind of like a thing. But so they did a silent auction, so I was walking around it, working it and making sure, setting everything up. And I found they had a lot of signatures, like sports posters with signatures on them. And there was one, it may have been like Babe Ruth. I think it was Babe Ruth. Signed it with a blue marker, and on the table behind it was a blue Sharpie. And I was thinking I think someone forged his signature. I don't think Babe Ruth used a blue Sharpie to sign this.
I'm venturing
picture
out
of
to
him.
say Babe Ruth may not have had Sharpies in his life.
And he probably didn't sign a picture of himself of that quality. I'm just saying, I don't think it was real.
That's insane.
So, but they had other cool stuff there.
I would have
just
Googled
don't
his
go for the
signature.
sports signatures.
No, it's risky unless they're certified. I used to work the coin shop I used to work in also did sports memorabilia, the baseball cards, and he would only buy signatures from people if they were authenticated by a one of the nation's 2 top authentication programs. But if it wasn't them, if it was like some I don't know, Movement Church authentication.
It comes with a
division.
certificate, right?
Yeah,
Little paper.
And they wouldn't do that, and so it's risky to buy signatures. That's crazy though, like a Sharpie. Like I hope nobody bid on it.
Probably did.
Went for lots of money.
Hopefully not a lot of money, but maybe someone did.
Do you ever watch? Speaking of that, do you ever watch Pawn Stars?
Sometimes.
And they come in and they think something's worth like $3.5 million, and the pro comes in and is like, "Oh, this is fake."
Yeah.
That probably would have been it. Like, "Oh, the Sharpie."
Probably.
Babe Ruth never saw a Sharpie in his life.
I like how in those shows they always have someone to call on any topic, any item. I know a guy. Let me call them up for this obscure toy that you have here.
I'll tell you what's frustrating to me is that at some point you just got to be a big boy and know your stuff. And there's a lot of things that they call the professional on that they should know better.
Yeah.
They should know better.
That's true, I guess. They just, I don't know.
It
Maybe
makes
it's to
TV.
promote the other person's business.
It's for TV.
It's also National Egg Roll Day today. Are you a fan of egg rolls at all, or are you like crab ragoon?
Crab ragoon all the way.
Okay.
Oh, love it.
I like egg rolls. I'm a big egg roll fan. They can be risky at times though.
Hey.
What?
I just Googled something.
What?
Babe Ruth died in 1948.
Mm-hmm.
Guess when markers came out?
1949.
53. So if you're listening to this and you
have a Babe Ruth signature that's in blue Sharpie, hate to break it to you, but it's not his.
Babe Ruth never saw not even Sharpie, markers. Markers were developed in 53.
It's
markers, not even a Sharpie.
His. You got our principal's signature probably.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
That's funny. Here's a good one that you'll like. National Iced Tea Day.
Oh, I hate iced tea.
Oh, never mind.
I hate iced tea.
I thought you liked iced tea.
Ugh. Lemonade. I'm a lemonade guy. Iced tea is just ugh. There's nothing worse. I'm going to say this. There's not. Well, I think there is something worse maybe than like reaching over for your drink in the center cup holder. My wife's got her sweet tea, and I've got my orange high C from McDonald's, and I pick hers up by accident, take a big drink, and it's sweet tea. Oh!
That's a huge contrast.
Oh!
McDonald's high C, orange high C there's something about it.
It's magical.
It's just different.
It's magical.
It's amazing.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this, man. If you remember, I'm just putting this out there for you. This is why you know that their orange high C is holy. Remember, it went away.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know when it came back?
I don't. It couldn't have been
came
too long
back
after, right?
Holy Week that year.
Did it?
I'm telling you what, Orange High C resurrected the same week that Jesus resurrected. I'm telling you what.
What a comparison.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just
pretty
saying.
good, though. It is good.
Graves are
Good
opening
drink.
and Orange High C is coming out.
It's back.
It's back. But you know what, though? Your comment is 100% correct, though. There is something magical about the McDonald's Orange High C because Chick-fil-A in Troy, Ohio has Orange High C, and it is not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same.
Something about it. They do something.
I agree with you, man. It's my favorite drink in the world. It really is.
In the world.
In the world. No, I
Orange
like water
High
a
C
little
from
bit more. I'm a water guy.
Well, yeah, water's good.
But Orange High C, it's up there.
Right
You
up there.
can get me an Orange High C, I'll drink it anytime.
Yeah.
So just keep me in mind. Keep me in mind.
When I go to McDonald's, I will think Richie would like an Orange High C, and then I won't buy one.
Dang, man.
Still, because
That hurts. They're $1.
it'd be a waste. I'd have to drive all the way out here to give you a high C for the most likely.
Yeah, it would only cost you $100 to drive out here.
It's not worth it for me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
It's okay, man. It's all right. So it's Orange High C Day. No, Sweet Tea Day.
Sweet Tea Day. If it was Orange High C Day, it would be a party.
All right. Hey, I just got to hear from our listeners today. Orange High C from McDonald's or McDonald's Sweet Tea? Now, I'm not talking about, listen, I don't want you putting on there half cut or half and half or unsweet because we know that unsweet is unholy. Listen to me. I'm talking about McDonald's Sweet Tea or Orange High C. Which one is your go-to?
I think it's going to be overwhelmingly
High C.
the right answer.
With Orange High C? I think so.
Hopefully. If not, we have some baptizing to do, I think.
Baptizing an Orange High C. Let's go.
Yes.
Hey, so our topic of choice today is camp.
Mm-hmm.
Camp.
I've been to a couple.
I've been to some camps, mostly as leaders. I'm gonna tell you something. This is a sad thing. It's really sad.
Let's hear it.
When I was in the 4th grade, when I was a kid, I hated to spend the night away from my house. Hated, like with vengeance. And in 4th grade, I went to this thing called Woodland Altars.
Mm-hmm.
And it was this field trip we'd go on, and it was an overnighter, 2 nights overnight. And the first night, I was miserable. I wanted nothing more than to leave, and my teachers wouldn't let me leave. And the next day came around. I was happy about it. The day was fun until the nighttime came around, and I wanted to leave again, but I was so tired I didn't care. It was awful, man.
Yeah.
Miserable. I hated to be away from family
That's pretty
and from my
strong.
house. I did.
It's kind of weird.
I was the kid that would, I'm just being real, I'm being vulnerable here. I was the kid that would go to a sleepover party and leave at 11 o'clock because I was sick. That's how I was.
I did that once,
Did you?
but it was different.
Was it?
Yeah, I was the only one there.
Yeah, I would have left too. But I struggled with it. And so when it came to me and being a kid and going to camp, I didn't do it a lot. I went camping one time ever in my life.
Okay.
Like outdoor camping,
Yeah.
tent camping,
Tent, yep.
and it was the most miserable time of my life. It was hot, it was sticky, there was no air conditioning, there were bugs, the tent collapsed on me, there was a storm, there was a tornado, there was all this stuff. There were wild animals, and I'm sorry, but my idea of roughing it is the Holiday Inn Express. I'm just going to say it right here on the Morning Momentum.
That's crazy. That is a statement right there. The Holiday Inn Express is roughing it.
Yeah, because the Holiday Inns are pretty sketch, but the Holiday Inn Express is like a next step up, and that's roughing it.
You camped through a tornado, apparently.
I did. I did.
And the Holiday Inn Express is roughing it.
The sirens were going off, and I was in this like little one-person tent, and
Were you camping by yourself?
No, I was camping with some friends.
Okay.
And the tornado sirens were going off, and it was miserable. My tent blew over on me, and I didn't want to get up out of my tent because it was pouring down rain, and I was at least staying dry. And so I went to sleep with my tent on top of me, woke up with some animal walking around the campgrounds. All I wanted to do was get home. It was awful. I woke up,
That
there was a
happens.
spider in the tent.
That's
Oh.
awful.
Oh.
I would have left.
Ugh. If I had my own car, I would have been gone.
I've been tent camping before.
How'd it go?
It was a lot of fun.
Where
But
what?
similarly, it was at John Bryan State Park,
Which is in Springfield,
kind of
kind of.
closer to Yellow Springs.
Okay.
But it was me and my brothers and my dad went. But with the first night we stayed, it poured down rain that next day. And so we're like, we got to leave, I guess. Also, all of our food got eaten by raccoons
Oh,
and
jeez.
stuff. Maybe not all of it, but a lot of it. So we were like, let's just go. So we packed all our stuff up in the pouring rain. And then as we were driving home, it stopped and got really sunny. And so we just went home, took showers, and then brought our dog back and stayed another night since we had it for another night.
So when you left the tents up?
No.
Oh, so you had to go.
We went back and reset everything up. But it was fun. We took showers, which was nice and stuff.
Oh,
So
man, yeah. It's not my idea of fun. But I'm going to tell you something that's probably even worse than that. And I got to hear your opinion because, Ethan, it's been 5 years since you were a student? 4 years?
3 or 4, I guess, yeah.
I
Senior year.
stand by this fact.
Okay.
You can throw a tornado at me. You can knock a tent on me. You can throw a spider in the room with me. But there is nothing worse than teen camp in the boys' dorm rooms.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go somewhere else, but I would agree with that.
The smell.
It's bad.
It
I've
is-
heard the girls' side is worse.
I've heard this, but
from all the
cannot
chaperones and stuff.
I cannot confirm that it is because I'm not allowed nor do I want to go and experience
true,
that side
yeah.
of the dorm.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys, the issue is, and I've got a rule against this because I think it's disgusting, okay? It's the guys that claim they quote unquote take a shower. Splashing some water on your face does not count as a shower. Getting a wet paper towel and wiping your armpits out does not make it a shower. I'm sorry, if you're listening today and that's what you do, you're gross. Start taking a shower. Soap, shampoo, all right? Listen to me, though. When you go back there for teen camp and it is night 2 and they've been running all day and maybe played in the water at some point, whatever it might be, and you walk back there and the boys are masking the scent with Axe body spray, there is nothing worse than BO and Axe body spray.
It's really bad. Luckily, when I was there, everyone I stayed with took showers.
I have rules. Like, as a youth pastor, I had strict rules that we were not going to be the smelly church.
Yeah.
But there are some leaders out there that don't give a crap, and they're okay with having the smelly kids. I'm not. It's awful. It is awful. If you have not experienced it before, you need to experience it in your life. When you deal with teenagers, there are a lot of times that you can't identify the scent that you are smelling in the room. Mm-hmm. And it's scary. Mm-hmm. It is scary at times.
This is almost your egg hunt rant.
Do you remember this though?
You're passionate about this.
Do you remember
just smelling bad?
Like just walking down, like your room might have been okay, but do you remember walking the hall?
Yeah, there's a very distinct smell.
Awful.
It's bad. That's what it gets everyone to stay outside.
Ethan, was it your room? There was a room at some point in my ministry. I can't remember whose it was, but it might have been your room. That we were there. It was semi-warm outside, 70 degrees outside in November, 60 degrees outside in November. But somebody got cold at night and cranked the heater to like 85 degrees and cooked everybody that evening. Was that you? Was that your room?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a hot night.
And everybody took showers the night before, and then all of a sudden you're being cooked in the middle of the evening. And
they just felt like they had the authority of a room of, how many is in there? 2, 4, 12 beds.
Yes.
To take control of the AC unit.
People don't think.
HVAC unit.
Like, listen to me. Like, this is the thing that we need to discuss as a country. All right? There's a lot of things, but this is pretty big. Listen to me. You go into your house. Mm-hmm. No. You go into your hot car.
Okay.
And if, let's say you have one of those cars right now where it's got an auto on it, okay? You can select the temperature. Mm-hmm. There is no reason to put your temperature of your car on the very lowest setting because I'm going to tell you something, all right? 70 degrees is 70 degrees. If that's nice and comfortable to you, it's going to cool it down to 70 degrees just as fast as you crank in the air. So on the reverse side of this, if you are cold at night, there is no reason to turn your heat to 85 degrees whenever 72 is sufficient enough.
Maybe 85 was his comfort level.
My gosh.
That's pretty high.
I don't know what he was preparing for, but it wasn't for heaven. And so whoever that was. But listen, another story, man. I got to share this one.
Okay.
I got to share this one.
Right.
Same. I think it might have been the same camp.
I feel like you have to bring up what I'm thinking of at some point.
I'm going to let you bring that up maybe. If I don't share that one, you're going to bring that up.
I mean, you experienced firsthand. But all right.
Girls. All right, girls.
Okay.
I just dogged on guys for a little bit. I'm going to dog on girls for a second. We had girls. The girls. They were in their own cabin. So there's 6 girls staying in a cabin together, and they're freezing. All right, it's 65 degrees outside. God forbid it's 4 degrees cooler than their comfort level, and they go in and they crank the heat, and it's 85. Listen, because that is what the heaters, and the air conditioning units, that's what they go to at the camp. That's why I keep going back to 85. That's where they max out at, okay? 85 degrees. 85 degrees is hot. Mm-hmm. Okay?
It's really hot.
So here's what happens. This girl goes to the bathroom, uses the restroom, let's just say a number 2, and doesn't flush it because it won't go down. It's 85 degrees in that place. It won't go down. All right, they leave and go to worship, and they participate in the late night event, and they participate in the late night activity. So all of a sudden, they left at 5 p.m. They come scrolling back in at midnight. Listen to me, 85 degrees, and that sitting in the toilet, not flushing down, made for a really bad smell as they walk through the front door of that cabin. You know where I was at midnight?
Probably in your own cabin.
I was in my own cabin asleep, and they called me and called me and called me and called me, and I refused to answer it.
I mean, that was all them.
100%.
Everything that took place was all them.
They ended up leaving that cabin and going and staying in somebody else's cabin. So they took 6 girls in a cabin and crammed 12 of them in there because they couldn't stomach the smell. I'm sorry. Open a window. They were like, what do I do with it?
Well, it all took place because the toilet couldn't stomach something else.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was too much for the toilet to handle.
The catalyst for this whole ordeal.
What did they want me to do? Reach in there and pull it out or something?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. And there was an adult leader with them too. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. So anyways.
It's gross. We should
Teen camp's rough.
It is rough.
It's
There's a lot of stuff that happens.
What's your favorite teen camp story? Because before you do this, I'm going to tell our listeners, I would love to know your favorite teen camp story. If you went to teen camp ever, I did not.
Does that include the blast? Because I have fun stuff there.
100%. It doesn't have to. It can be any overnighter. Let's just say that.
Okay. We did, and you experienced this. You probably know where I'm going. Is it the district blast? Is that the big one?
No, field blast. The one that we're like literally I'm at right now as I'm speaking.
Field blast was at Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Is it still there?
It is. It is.
So me and 2 other people had a dorm room, I guess, rooming with the person next to me here, Richie, Griffith. And there were rooms upstairs and there were steps. And he wasn't with us when me and the 2 other students
My
got
room
there.
was downstairs.
His room was downstairs. So we got there. He wasn't with us. It was me and the 2 other students. And immediately, one of them took their mattress and threw it on the steps and came flying down the steps. And we were like, this is great. This is a great idea. So we were flying down the steps for a long time. Eventually trying to maneuver down the steps and out the door by placing mattresses around.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
So whose idea was it?
Can I name?
Yes.
Can I say names?
Yes, just first name.
Pete.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It was his idea.
It was a great idea.
That was a fun one because you guys went around and you sung and played instruments to try to get some money for food.
We did do that, yeah. We didn't get any. We may have got a couple cents, but
I probably got one of the most epic shots though. There was like 4 of you, and you were the one on top in the mattress.
Oh yeah.
So the mattresses were like stacked.
A mattress sandwich. Yeah.
It was crazy.
Kid on the bottom was suffering, to say the least.
But that's what's so much fun about going to these overnighters. Like, I missed out as a kid because I wouldn't let myself enjoy it. But that's what's so much fun about these overnighters because there's all these stories that come about. Mm-hmm. This was one of my first big events. I went to Nazarene Youth Conference in 2015, and so I'm here at this conference. I've got my teens, and I can't sleep at night. I had a guy in the room that was snoring, making all sorts of noise. I couldn't sleep. So I walked out to the hallway, and I realized there was a bunch of teens out in the hallway. Mm-hmm. So I go out there, and I start chatting with some of them. Well, I realized that there are boxes of Chick-fil-A sandwiches. And I'm getting ready to tell on myself because I don't think people at the district know that I did this. And I realized that there's all these boxes of Chick-fil-A sandwiches. So I start like randomly tossing pickles. And nobody can figure out where these pickles are coming from. But I'm like peeling them off sandwiches and just like tossing them on kids. And so then all of a sudden this food fight erupts in the middle of the hallway at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I hear a door open up and I like glue to the wall like in one of the indents. And this woman comes out. What are you kids doing? Where is your leader at? And I'm like giving them the sign, like don't narc on me, don't. And nobody told on me.
Nice.
And so this woman, let's call her Karen, goes back into her room, slams the door, and everybody just starts dying of laughter. And I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, like.
You probably felt so cool hidden behind that wall.
I felt like that
Tom
woman
Cruise
was going
right
to
now.
come after me, like if she would have seen. And yeah, so
That's funny.
It's those type of stories that are so much fun, and so that's why like I always strongly encourage to hit up teen camp, kids camp. I don't have any kids camp stories. I told you why I don't. Did you ever go to kids camp?
No.
And so I know there are stories that come from that as well, but there is a lot of fun behind getting out and doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage you, like, if you're a leader, be a part of it. Like, if you're an adult, become a leader and go to some of these things. Like, it
They're
is
fun.
so much fun. It sounds bad. It's very draining, but it is the most fun that you'll ever have. And depending on what's going on during that event, there's a lot of spiritual things that come out of it, a lot of life-changing things, and it's so much fun.
Some of my proudest work that I've done at a teen camp, usually there's like Little Caesars is bought for the first evening for dinner.
Yep.
Every time I've taken 1 to 2 boxes back to my room. And I'm not a student anymore, so it doesn't matter. But I would take a couple pies for later.
It's always good to know.
Yeah.
You
You have to keep your eye out now.
I was always pretty good to you.
Yeah, you were. You got us food a lot. That was fun. That's what made it fun too, though. is getting
And
Taco Bell and
some of the
B-Dubs.
housing stuff that I got you in, though.
There was one that I'm very thankful for even now.
Maybe senior year, junior year, something like that. You got to
was-
house with your brother.
I
and-
was in a cabin with my brother, and while that was happening, something else went down in the other rooms where 2 people may or may not have spooned.
Oh my gosh.
But I wasn't there because I was in the cabin.
They were sleeping on the floor.
Yeah.
Listen, we packed out. I have to listen, that sounds really bad. Okay. We have to go back
can
and talk
clear it
about
up
this.
a
We have to
little
clear
bit.
this up a little bit because it sounds terrible.
It wasn't purposeful.
It
It was
wasn't.
like a sleepwalking.
This kid sleptwalked. He got up, he was sleepwalking, climbed into bed with a friend.
They were all on the floor.
They were all on the floor. There were no beds. There were just mattresses on the floor.
because we maxed out the camp.
And so when everybody woke up and they looked to see where this kid was, nobody could find him until they hear, "Ah!"
He was in there.
He was cuddling with his friend, not realizing that he did that in the middle of the night.
It was funny. And I found out about later when I got out of my cabin, refreshed and ready for the day.
And we had to make a new rule.
Yeah, we did.
No spooning in camp.
It was a good story. It's a funny story.
Yeah. But we want to encourage you, like, get out, be a part of it, do something. If you're a student and you're not a part of it yet, you don't want to miss camp. You don't want to miss retreats, any events like that. I'm telling you, those stories are stories that I'll never forget. They're so much fun, and I absolutely love that part of ministry. And so get out, camp, even if it's with your family. Get out, make sure you take lots of spider spray, and do it right. Get a camper.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just being real with you.
I mean, we used a camper to warm up my stolen pizza.
Yes, we did.
I was pretty good at that, by the way.
I know you were.
I pulled some moves
I
on
would say you weren't very
couple
good.
of the
We saw what you did.
former. I felt pretty good about it. I did a couple. The former district president, he caught me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I did one of these things like that, and then I just walked down. I
Yep.
was like, done. Got it.
Done.
Got dinner for the next 2 nights.
See ya. Oh, geez. Well, it's Friday, and you need to enjoy the weekend. It's going to be beautiful, and I'm so excited about it. I really am. I love this weather. I love it being a little warm, and you need to go conquer the weekend. Spend some time with family, some friends, do something, relax a little bit. You've earned it.
Yes.
You have earned it, and go make a difference in somebody's life this weekend.
That's pretty good. Can be
On-
very simple too. Nothing crazy.
Get somebody an orange high C. $1.
$1.
$1 can change somebody's life forever.
I saw on a Speedway thing, it didn't say Speedy Freeze, it said Slurpee. And they
Yeah,
were
they've
$1.
changed it.
They were $1, not 99 cents. So
Yeah,
I guess that's an option too.
that is an option. So you do you. Make it happen, and we will be seeing you. Well, we won't see you, but we'll be back with you
That's right.
on Monday morning as we get ready to conquer the week ahead. But enjoy the weekend, and for a lot of you, I think it might have even been a short week for you. So, because it's coming off the heels of Memorial Day. But this week is not going to be a short week. Ethan's trying to do math
I
in
don't
his
know.
head. Poor
This
guy.
is, yeah.
Poor guy. He'll make it.
Tell all your friends about this podcast.
Absolutely. It's crazy. And if you got anything that you want us to try out or do, let us know. Send it to us right here at the Morning Momentum. You can also do it going to our church Facebook page at the Movement 937. And we can't wait to be back with you as we get ready to start our Big Ten series this weekend. And lots of cool things happening. We'll see you later.
See you then.
Bye.